up there. That's the point where I have trouble logging into Roll20, just like, because, well, fuck my donkey. Oh my goodness, I am actually having trouble with Roll20. Freaking Roll20 is just not loading at all. I'm not even getting the website. Oh no, now I am. It just wouldn't take me to the welcome page on my thing. And it's logged me out again. Because of course you did Roll20, because you're freaking useless. And I am saying that live, because yes, Roll20 is a massive pain in the ass, but it's the only alternative at the moment, because the D&D version is even worse. Well, the problem is having the licenses, and as Hasbro are trying to squeeze everyone else out, that's not likely to happen. Because they want everyone on their platform. Because that's what it's about. It's not about the player base. It's not about what's the better product. It's just we want everyone on our platform. Because of course they do. Yep. Because Discord's having troubles as well. But you can hear him. He's on the computer voice. Okay, let's get the dice rolls up. Yes. Why didn't you buy a Danhausen shirt, Ollie? You know he's cursed us because of this. That's why you've been ill the last few days. Your knee problems, and then this. It's progressively getting worse. He's putting shopping away. Ah, okay. He just wasn't commenting. Okay. Well, let's get started like half an hour late. Well, yeah, it will be because I'm on Starlink. It was the only way of getting half decent internet in my area. But there's probably a few settings that are slightly squiffy, so bear with me because the dice are in the wrong place. But that takes like 2 seconds because sometimes it will randomly change which screen is which screen. There we go. Sometimes last week it was screen 3. This week it's screen 2. So I'm used to doing that. It happens every couple of weeks. Okay, the end of the last session. I think I have a video to sum up the end of the last session. Hold on. Let me just grab that a second. It wasn't that. I didn't mean to click on that. I was trying to add a new source. Okay, because okay, that wasn't the end of the session. It was. Okay, no, what's that?
But I think he deserved his punishment. Don't you?
Settings. Let's try that again. I do hate the fact that it auto plays media things. Okay, monitor and output, because it always means that it's not. There we go. Let's try that again, but in a way that won't blow Ollie's ears off. This is where we ended, with Scarred Heart sitting around by himself. But he's very uncomfortable with this. As the other lot were dragged away. Well, no, I didn't say dragged away. They just ran away, pretty much ran away into the bushes. So I assume that Scarred Heart at this point is going to want to have a long rest. All the time. Yeah, we're all getting it now. Awaiting endpoint. Oh, lovely. It's happened to all of us now. Awaiting endpoint, voice details, awaiting endpoint. Yeah, it looks like we've all been affected now. It's because I told everyone it's Danhausen. Danhausen has cursed us all down. yeah, basically we've all been, yeah. Are you speaking? We didn't listen. We didn't listen. I'm going to get a lot of engagement in this one. Hey. We're all out of voice. Except me, because you can hear me. User may be having trouble connecting to the call, it says about you, Jack. See, this is what we get. You didn't buy my shirts, and you didn't buy Danhausen's shirts. No, we can't. Because I'm getting the await endpoint as well now. Hold on, I can actually drag it onto the screen, see? Awaiting endpoint. It looks like yeah, you're all still in the call. It's only one. It's only one. You only need one of us to buy a shirt. Then we wouldn't have received the curse of Danhausen. And now we're all in endpoint. I'm so calling it. The next week's session is going to be called Endpoint. We didn't listen. So apparently Ollie is Doctor Strange. Ollie, you had the time stone. Why didn't you tell us? Waiter's endpoint. That just about sums us up. We certainly won't avenge the Earth, but we certainly will await it. That really does sum us up, as I said, as a group. We certainly won't avenge the Earth, but we will await it. The awaiters. Yeah, I'm making a shirt of that now. That should be that should definitely be our group with the awaiters. We don't have either the money, the skill. I'm running Linus. It's because we kept going on at him about about him living the life he wants, which is living out of my bin or our bins. But like I said, Ollie hasn't seen that. He would just see him as the poor homeless person. He hasn't seen the sinister agenda behind what Linus does when you offer him a house, literally built to his specifications, and he turns you down because he wants his freedom. But what he means by freedom is basically he wants permission to just interfere with everyone's bins and steal food out of your bin instead of actually being a member of society. I got a cut on my lip. It have. How did that happen? Huh. Yes, I'd agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. Because at first you are sympathetic to his plight, and then later on it's like you try to help him, and he just flat turns you down, just like. And he makes a point of being like, "Oh no, people won't accept me. I don't want to be a burden. Life is just so difficult for some people." This is the trick quote. Some people are just not meant for this world. It's not freedom if your choice is to steal from other people. If he has an active, he's actively choosing to do that. Not because not because he can't not do that. Not because he's has any reason not to do that. He is choosing actively to do that because he doesn't want to do the alternative. And I don't mean in a sort of he couldn't get a job or something else, or like I'm not claiming he's like a benefit stranger or anything like that. Or he is choosing to be a thief, and yeah, that's what he's doing. He is choosing to do the things he does. And when you offer him an alternative, he doesn't want to do it. I feel mean saying this stuff. It's like, but okay. Let's try and get some done at least. Let's try and get you out of the situation you were in. So, at the end of last session, as I said, Jack was the only person who was, well, Scarred Heart was the only person who was still with the wolves. because it's because we didn't buy Danhausen shirts, and we've become the Awaiters. We've decided our superhero team name, or just our team name in general now. We're cursed. Yes. Oh, okay, that was a weird thing by speech chat. It said we are cursed. We are cursed. Awaiting endpoint. Yes, we are awaiting. Yeah, when I talk, I have a little halo. I did that on purpose. Yeah, exactly. That's why I can still speak. You can still hear my voice. because Yeti. Power of the Yeti cannot be undone. Okay, as I said, I don't know if Jack can hear us or if he's watching or what he's doing because he hasn't responded. Swotor Saga. Are you long resting? Scarred Heart, are you long resting? Sorry, I lost volume. Yes, you should have told. You needed to tell me that. I've been trying to get you for a few minutes to tell me that. Okay. Well, you wake up a few hours later, bound. Oh no, you don't. Never mind. You've already done it. You weren't getting a long rest. But never mind. That's why I specifically said, Scarred Heart, have you long rested? No, just Scarred Heart. But if you've done it already, don't worry about it. As I said, okay, so Scarred Heart is tied down with vines. No, because he doesn't speak your language, and you would need to know sign language to do that. Although I'll let you do an animal animal handling test if you want to try that. If you roll for that. Yeah, you got an 11. Yeah, I'd say that's enough. They chewed through the loosely tied bonds, granting you your freedom. In the distance, not more than say 5 minutes away, 5 to 10 minutes walk away, you can hear panicked sounds, panicked shouting of female voices. You don't need to. You can just head straight towards it. It's very clear. They're only a couple 100 yards away. You know, not even that far away. Okay, just head north on the map. You'll just make it easy. I just made it a bit easier, given the current situation. Okay, let's lay these out a bit better. So we've got a couple of these there. We've got yeah, they'll come with you. Okay, they've run off. 2 of them have run off. Okay. I'll say that you just head straight up to the area where they are. So I'll just move you up. So yeah. You come across a very panicked scene. The Centaurans who were there earlier, who were your captors earlier on, are panicking. Riz and Kinryu are both down on the ground, barely breathing. Both are unconscious. And the Centaurans are hastily trying to apply healing balms and healing herbs to them. But clearly, you can see that they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing at all. So they are panicking because they as I said, you can see from there, Riz and Kinryu are barely breathing. Someone didn't adjust the dose. Okay, so Scarred Heart, what are you going to do? You can see your friends down on the ground. In front, well, there is between them a sort of weird little altar that they've clearly been doing some sort of ritual, but to someone like you, it looks very haphazard, like they didn't know what they were doing properly. Nothing is in the right. Nothing looks kind of in the right place, and 2 of their number have run off. And they, as I said, they're clearly panicking. So, what would you like to do? This is where things get tricky. Okay. Well, the wolves are going to come up as well. So let's bring the wolves up. Let's put you down with the centaurs. Okay. One of the female centaurs turns to you and says, they can't breathe. There's something wrong with them. We gave them the normal dose of sedative. They seem to have a realization when they've said it aloud what's happened. They've given them too much sedative. They've given them the sort of sedative they would normally give other centaurans. So probably 3 times the amount that humanoids would require. Well, he's yelling that one. The voice doesn't really put that. Yes. That's why you're in cardiac arrest. Technically, you're on 0 hit points at the moment. If they weren't applying these healing things, you would die. because you would stop breathing. Their healing balms are the only thing keeping you from just going into respiratory failure. But they're doing them wrong. That's why you haven't recovered. Yes, so that we could take what we needed from them. They aren't centaurs. One of them presents you with with two large injection needles, which have, they're very large. Yes. Yes, or you could just use some heal. You lay on hands would work just as well. It's better the dying would stabilise them. Oh, I didn't want to move them. Let's move you over so you can get close enough to... Each of the injection needles has a chamber of leaded crystal, like you see of crystal decanters. Oh yeah, just healing. Someone healing word, or one of your healing spells would do the same thing. Sorry, I was thinking of. I don't know why I said lay on hands. That's World of Warcraft. Hmm. So yeah, you'd want to be casting Cure Wounds then. What? Okay, so yeah, Riz wakes up very groggy. From what you remember, you were having an interesting time when suddenly you felt something jab you hard in the arm, and you've also got a very sharp pain. I mean, the Cure Wounds has healed the wound there, but coming from your groinal area. Someone has stolen something from you. Which looks suspiciously like the same sort of size as the injection needle that they're holding. That's so weird. You've got an ad right now when I haven't got a thing up saying that there's an ad break. You can see Scott. You can see Kinryu. You can see Kinryu beside you with a needle sticking it. Well, they've done the same thing to him. He is. You can see he's having trouble breathing. We believe that... Oh, update from Discord. Issues connecting to Discord. Identified. We believe we have identified the issue and are taking action to try and restore voice traffic. Let's put that on the thing a minute. bit smaller so we can see it on there. So this is why you can't hear our players. Okay. Well, I think Ollie was planning on. I think Riz was going to use healing to stabilize him. So. Yeah, that's all right. Well, we know that he'll be up and around. Okay, so Kinryu's up and around as well. He also feels the pain in his groin area from the injection needle, and your the restraints on you were done a lot looser, so they just come off immediately as soon as you try moving. So they don't resist you at all, because you were drugged. So you can both see the Panic Centauran females, the daughters of Motoro, looking very panicked, but relieved that you're now conscious. All four of them look at you like, we're sorry. We didn't realise that this would happen. We're not really supposed to do this. Well, this feels a lot worse than just a nap. Like I said, you were almost dead. The sedative is still in your system. You can feel something is not right. Like you feel numb all over. Like just. I know what's going to happen. We either have to do something with Discord, or there'll just suddenly be a moment where Discord suddenly coughs back into life. Like it did the opposite with us, where I was talking and suddenly it just died. Well, the females look at you and go, well, we attempted to harvest you like we normally would with worthy males. And in the process, we may have given you too many sleep doses. We didn't take into account that you're not Centauran. So yes, you almost passed while laying here. But we were able to successfully take some. So yeah, everything worked out. Well, yeah, you could do. I said it'll go away by itself. It's not a. I wouldn't really worry about using lesser restoration. It's a bit like going to the dentist. You just feel kind of numb. It's not impeding anything you're doing. Although I wouldn't drink any hot drinks. Yeah, because you might burn yourself. But yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's not going to have any long-term effects. Not worth using lesser restoration to fix. But as I said, as you've come round, you can see that two of the sisters are gone. When you fell unconscious, well, when you were there earlier on, there were 6 of them. Now there's only 4. Yes, yes, he is. Okay, so as I said, you're... Well, I'm not getting any issues my end. I'm not getting any notifications of a disconnection my end, so it's nothing I can... Can I use a perception check for any signs of the 2 who disappeared? Yes. They're not trying to hide it. You'll be... Yeah, roll for it. I'm just going to pull it up on my phone. Yeah, sometimes it does that, especially with some of the apps. Because I know on my tablet sometimes it would get that. Oh, I haven't even tried anything with D&D Beyond. Oh, you only got a 6? No, you don't pick it up with that. You need 10 or so. Well, not even a 10, but 6. That's a fail. normally use this, but never mind. I'm not using that. I've got to mess around logging in. Okay, so you have a quick look to see if you can see where they've headed off to, but you can't. Yeah. Oh. Hold on. I just had a thought. Okay. So yeah, 16. Yeah. So Kinryu gets 16 health. Perception, kill wounds, 12. No, I just suddenly had a thought we could just do the call in WhatsApp. Because I have WhatsApp on my desktop. Because this is working really badly. I don't know if other people have it. Okay, well, what I'll do is I will send you my number on the Discord chat individually. So you can add me. So I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. Might take a second. Oh no, because it'll come through the desktop normal thing. So might take me a little jig to get it to run on the. I think you can do a group call on WhatsApp. I'll give it a go. Well, at least we'll. When you've added me, just send a message. Yeah. Yeah, just send me a message when you've done it. Even if it's just hi, like hi in your name. Okay? Because then I can add you as a okay. So that's 1, that's 2. Only Ollie's left. Were you trying to come up with a whimsical name? Because it felt like a Red 5 standing by moment. Just your fingers and thumbs for the app. That's alright, I'm just teasing. Okay, let's try this. The Oasis. Oh, I should have called it that. Okay, chat. New group. Actually, okay, so chat. Oh, it didn't save your things. Contact info. I'll just send a reply back because I think that normally does it. Yes. Chat, new group chat. if it's easier to do on my phone. Swear. Okay, so add community contact. There. Stereo microphone. No, wrong one. Needs to be voice mod. And then speakers. Headphones. Okay. Okay, can you hear me? Okay. Okay, so that's coming across. And it's coming across on desktop. Okay. Well, as I said, I was gonna keep that minimized anyway, so I'm keeping the webcams off the thing anyway. I just thought this would make it slightly easier, because trying to do that with the text was just like herding cats. Like, your voices are coming through on the stream. I know how to set up my sound when I Hook for the win. Hook knows how to jury rig shit. I may not be the best at what I do, but as I said, when I learn technology, I learn how it works and how to layer it so that I can get what I want out of it, even if it's not what it's supposed to do. It's a bit like what I did with those thingy ads, that the thing I did on TikTok, the Joja ad. That's actually several videos all merged together with some nice editing. Sorry? Fuck off, Discord! You bastard, Discord! We just found a workaround and now you're working. Yeah, it's working now. We found a fucking method. This is what we get for not awaiting. We're gonna wait so many. Yes. Okay, we can end the WhatsApp call. Oh, okay. Well, what we'll do is we'll leave the Discord call for the time being, and we'll just stay on this for say an hour. Yeah. Well, we know it now because we know we can do this now. We know it can function. Yeah. Oh God, yeah, yeah. Well, as I said, we and the other awaiters have got a method of um, of doing this now. So, where can I put? Oh, I can put that over there. Then it won't be in the way of anything. I know it will be in the way of the chat. It's because it thinks I want to look at the WhatsApp like window with your pictures in, and it's like I don't want to do that. I just want it gone. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't afford one, but I couldn't afford one. Where do we buy these Danhausen shirts? Or do we just need to make our own one? just please don't curse us, Danhausen. How much? Can I ask an important and relevant question to that one, Murrah? How much is that in bison dollars? Oh, okay, okay. Well, I'm not sure what the no. I'm not sure if there would have been a lower than a single bison dollar. But yeah, probably. It might have been a Zangief. Well, I don't think it would have been a Sagat because I don't think he knew Sagat wasn't a true believer. Probably. Yeah. No, because he was just a soldier. Yeah, he wouldn't have had him on a dollar, on a thing. Um, maybe eventually, when 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 Bisonopolis becomes all woke, and they start doing celebrating the other members of the Bison thing, and then we would have had a $5 Bison dollar bill with Vega on or someone else, Blanca maybe. Well, no, but Zangief maybe. I think it would have mostly been Bison in different hats. Yeah, would have been released on a Tuesday. Of course! Jack, you didn't join us in a. Of course! What? Disgraceful. In my Warhammer campaign, I'd have hit you with lightning for that. No, this was years ago. Oddly enough, though, we're in the same continuity. Just years later, the Empire of Carlton Empire does exist in this world. It's several thousand miles to the east of where you are. This continent is close to Cuba. So the Colton Empire would have been probably where, equivalent of where Ireland is. So yeah, the Republic of Ireland was the Colton Empire. But yes, to get back to the game. Okay, so you've woken up groggily. Your bonds have come off, and Skardheart is sort of looking at you, probably quite concerned that that you've been drugged and almost died during the night. So, yeah, how are you going to respond to? Well, yeah, you just responded to it like, oh. You could almost say it wasn't. It definitely doesn't smell like a. Well, no, it actually might smell like a propane or propane related product. Between you is what looks like a strange fertility symbol towards a moon goddess. Well, some sort of moon. It's just towards the moon. Well, the centaurans look at you. Well, um, we didn't realise this would hurt you so much. We're sorry. We this is we weren't. This is why we're not supposed to do. We've only just reached this stage of maturity. They seem confused. No, no. They are somewhat younger than they appear. No, no, no. We were attempting the seed weaving ritual, which is only usually performed by our sisters who have received their training after the moon ritual. We have only just received our moon ritual, and we were too eager. Me and well, we remembered parts of it, but we didn't take into account the differences in species. You're the first. Well, if you do encounter any other War Sisters, could you maybe not tell them we did this or mess this up? We really aren't supposed to have done this. The Egg Weavers will be very angry with us. Seed Weavers, I mean, will be very angry with us. Well, thank you. Yeah, he said his mum was calling. From the distance, you hear two almighty screams. Just the worst sound you've ever heard. Just two. Something has killed the two sisters, the two centaurans that ran away. Are you okay, Jack? Okay. Yeah, just a response to basically you hear a massive scream coming from the coming from the woods. Yeah, two screams. Someone has found the. It sounds like someone's found the ones that were running away. The yeah. Well, you could do that, yeah, I suppose. Um, you might have to, because um, because they look at you like, are you sure you want to go and do that? Okay, I'll have to use the standard token for the time being. I can't find a. I thought I had a token of this guy, but apparently not. It's the problem with Centaurans. I'm struggling to find tokens that do them justice. A bit tricky. Yeah, I did say you heard them. You heard what sound like things being killed. Very likely. You're in a basically a temporary camp. It would be a day's travel from here. Um, Yeah. From out of the forest, a very large centaur, well, it's a very large centauran, steps out. Covers covered from top to foot in heavy plate armor, carrying a huge javelin in one hand. Well, in two hands. It's clearly an extremely heavy javelin. On his back are several other weapons. He's been listening to what you said, and he immediately, in a very deep voice, says, "Oh, they are most certainly dead. Very certainly dead. As the blood on my axe will show you." "Oh, clearly you aren't. What are you doing here with these youngsters?" "Drugged indeed. Tending to who? You seem to be tending to your associates on the floor there. Pray, have you been set upon by these females as well?" "These young foals set upon a group of my men. Were you also set upon, or are you here by choice?" "May I make a out of well, I'm going to make a Jumanji of my own. He's speaking common. Remember the rest of these didn't speak your language? That's why I was giving you a little reminder of that. Like, he's speaking directly to you. No, he is speaking common. There's there's a useful line in Trek when it comes to it. You can tell the top line model. Well, no, you can tell only the top line models can even speak English. They're talking about Klingons at that point, where it's like the top line. Only the top line models can even speak English. But that's the sort of attitude you're getting from these guys. They're like, This guy that's the vibe you're getting from this guy. He is huge and frightening, and he has clearly just killed the two females who ran away within seconds. Why? What's it to do with you, little lion? You're. Well, these little younglings, these little foals, have been attempting to usurp my authority in this area, as their sisterhood often tries. They seduce my men, drug them, steal their essence, and then, using their filthy heathen magics, accelerate their growth so that their young reach adulthood in a few months instead of years. Otherwise, we'd have slain or subjected them to our authority by now. See, most of the female centaurans stay in the tribe's camps and are safe. These are rebels who do what they want, these daughters of Motoro. Yes, most of their sisters are as well. But they have lived their lives within months. Hag magic steals their life force from them and ages them rapidly. They are then usually taught over several months or years their warrior ways and become different roles within their group. These, however, have decided that their will to procreate or some foolishness is stronger, and so they've gone out and tried to do it by themselves. You seem disturbed by this. Do you not know that our species only... Don't you know that our species only lives about 20 years at most? We're not humans. And we're certainly not elves. Oh yeah, they're not gonna care whether you understand it or not. Oh. Well, you've walked into it. He sniffs the air and then looks at each of you. I picked up your scent on the two females I killed. Tell me something. Did they capture you, or are you in charge here? No, I mean before you were deceived. Did you enter into it willingly, or did they force you? See that? Okay, I'm going to do another Jumanji. Basically, I shouldn't really do this, but Basically, they're giving you an out. Were you... Because they're the patriarchal male dominant side, so they're asking, were you in charge or were they in charge? What does Kinryu think about that? Okay, then they will be put to death. They either were your mates that you chose, or they assaulted you. You seem to be indicating the latter. The, sen- the sentence to that is death. If they were your mates and you chose them as part of your herd and had dominated them, then things would have been different. But he starts limbering up. So it seems I'll be collecting 6 skulls today. The females immediately panic. The thing is, he speaks common. He speaks common. You gotta say this stuff. You can't just have sneaky conversations while he's like just looming over you. Yes, but even then you can't just have sneaky conversations because the other players are not mind readers. So you're changing your mind. Actually, you're both going to have to. Well, I already gave you a say. You seem to be implying you were victims and not them. No, because victims are weak. See, the impression that I got of this situation was that you had somehow seduced these young foals, and then they deceived you when you were being intimate, perhaps, and drugged you, which there is no shame in. Many of my own warriors have fallen to such a thing. Hmm. See, I don't. Hmm. Okay, you're going to have to roll to like. Um. I will let. Okay, I'll let you roll one of two choices in this regard, because you've got to do one of two things with this persuasion. You've either got to persuade him or you've got to intimidate them. So whichever one you think is better, because that's how you're going to convince him. Either by persuading him or intimidating them. You have to sort of scroll to the right a couple of times, so you get the skills up. Yeah, as I said, it's a bit of a weird one, that one. Well, as I said, you could intimidate the females. That would definitely like. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll allow it. Oh, yeah, you've done it. You've squeaked through. He's tried, as I said, he's actually not that unreasonable a person. He's trying to give you the benefit of the doubt because he's lost men in this encounter. Remember at the start of this, like when you found the thing, there was like 6 of them. So he's already lost 4 men from this. He's not a very happy person, but it looks like, to his mind, this looks like you overpowered them, and then they tricked you. So this is him being like, yeah, you look like you were in charge because they look panicked, and you look like you're in a position of power with your lion man there, looking like he's in charge as well. But clearly he's like a pacifist, so you're clearly in charge of this situation here. Even if you're down on the ground, he's read his own narrative into this situation because they look so scared. He thinks they're scared of you, even with you led on the floor. Mm. Well, technically, yes, because you would have been stripped. I hadn't really thought about that until that moment, but yes. I hadn't really considered that option at this point, that you're facing down at like 10-foot centaur, like one of the. Well, I was going to say, if you're going to do that, you've got to roll perception to see if his is bigger. He's a centaur man. He's literally hung like a horse. You might have got the minotaur one. It's a lottery. Regeneration. It's a lottery. Well, yeah, the javelin. Yeah, exactly. People who are lacking like their big, powerful weapons. Damn it! It makes me want to play that advert for. Ah, oh, it's appropriate.
I am betraying you, Sephiroth. It is what I do. Who are you?
Yes, I tell you. That's Dragon Wang. That's number Wang. And I had to include that clip from the video from tomorrow. But we're not on the trove. We're not on the tale of Cain anymore. No more betrayal. Cain, let's step outside. See, this is what you miss on Thursdays when you don't turn up to my streams, Ollie. Scowl at him. Well, you didn't turn up either, Jack, so don't start. This. That's why you end up in the tunnel. That's enough silliness. So, you clearly don't know much about this area. What would you want to know? Oh, yes. Motaro? How do you know that? Motoro? How do you know that name? Motoro's champion? He looks aghast. With that, you could choose the next Khan. I am Kragor the Iron Hoof, Bloodgore Guard of the Thunder Hoof Warhorn. Then let me explain this to you. The Holy Mother and Father? It's impossible. You can't possibly have met them. I knew you'd do that. I know, there's no paper hats, cardboard hats, or any of that. Yeah, what? What do you mean they still live? Rumors that Motoro came from the future. Well, I suppose that I do not understand many of your words, but that could be possible. I suppose you would need to talk to one of the seers, or one of the more noted of people. I am not someone of great learning. I could take you back to the Thunderhoof Warhorn, to my kin. You would be honored guests. You hold the relics of Motoro. your safety would be guaranteed. Your mares, they would need to be marked, but yes, they would be safe. As they would, well, branding them, obviously. Well, yes, they would be branded with your mark. Well, yes, okay. You clearly do not know the land which you have travelled into. The sons of Motoro have a leader, the Bullhorn Khan. He holds the known relics of Motoro. He is the greatest of the Khans. He was chosen by the Council of Khans as the mightiest. He is growing old. He's reaching the point where a new Khan will be selected. My leader, the head of my Warhorn, is the most likely one to take over as the next Bullhorn Khan. By holding those relics, you become Motoro's champion. You would have a position within the Sons of Motoro as like an arbiter. You could literally sway the council and veto the council's vote. I know where you're going with that. They should handle this in the only true way. Toromania! think you bring great dangerous knowledge, though. Because if others hear of this, they will attempt to take the relics from you. Well, so far the only ones who know are we here. Well, yes. I know that there are groups on this island who would, groups on this land who would greatly like to see a certain person become leader and become the Bullhorn Khan. There are a group, one of the Warhorns that people suspect have an affiliation with the Snake Men of the Dark Continent. They they occasionally find their way onto this island, warmongering scum. One of them is the counsel to the Bloodhorn Khan, a four-legged reptile creature. His demeanor is as cold as his blood. How he's managed to worm his way into the Bloodhorn Khan's council, I would slay him if I had the chance. But to do so would result in my own spine decorating his walls, so... Well, no, they're lowborn. As I said, moon accelerated. They can sometimes speak common, sometimes elvish. They are considered womankind in our society, but yes, my camp is just... What I will do, because clearly you have some business here, and I must depart. I have trophies to collect and things to do today, and it is not good for someone of my authority to be out without bodyguards for so long. This will direct you. He hands you a piece of thorn. Plant this in the ground, and it will direct you towards our camp. He turns, and as he starts to walk away, the four females watch terrified as he walks further and further away. Yeah, yeah. You wait a couple of minutes as he walks away. both look at you stunned, like that you faced him down without it turning into a fight. He is not known for his patience. Like he did our two sisters. We know how you negotiated. We may not have understood the words, but we know that we are now married to you. In our culture. They all look kind of annoyed with themselves. It's like, well, I suppose in this way it means we don't have to go home. Yeah. Well, no, they wouldn't have been a carpet. They'd have been it's more like predator. They'd have ended up a skull on his wall. No, no, no. They wouldn't have been cannibalized. Like I said, they'd have just been like a freaking massive long spinal column on his wall. Congrats, you're both married. You now have a wolf and 2 mares. I'll have to name them later. Yes, because they don't like Jack. Well, they don't like. Yes, you've got 2 each. You lost 1 each. Yes. Scarred Heart doesn't get one because they don't like him because he wasn't strong. What? I didn't even hear that. That was just like. No, not even that, because that would be considered manly. Basically. No, because basically they only get bound to them once they've been technically they're bound to them, but yeah, they will be bound to them when they've been branded. Yes. Well, this went differently to how I was expecting. I was expecting you to actually end up in a fight with him, and then for bad things to happen. Well, actually, no, technically he hasn't because he's accidentally got a harem, which, like most bards, I think would be like. Although then again, it's a harem, so he can just like keep on going. No, it's. But yes, So you want to travel all the way back to camp? Yeah, and you haven't really got anywhere you can rest around here, so that's going to be another couple of. That's going to be a day or so getting back to camp. So it's the next day anyway. So, well, you got your wolves to ride as well, because the wolves have already got saddles. Okay, let's. I'll do the date calculation when we get you back to Sung. You've only been gone a couple of days, Comrade. Okay. Surprised, but oh, wrong one. See, now I'm going to have to make tokens for them to make them individuals. I've now got to make character sheets for them as well. You've now going to have. Some of you are going to have like 6 characters. Oh, God. Okay. Okay, so I'm just transferring you back to the village. This is going to make for an amusing. As you come riding back in on your horses, well, on your wolves. I don't know. Well, if you can come up with a name for him, that would. Did you say Margentina? Come on. Oh God. They don't speak common. You could claim that was their common name. Yeah, you'll be given humanoid names, not your. Mm. Those are human names. Those are person names. Okay, you get back. And yeah, I wasn't really expecting you to come back so soon. Right. Well, I haven't really made much progress on building the city. It's been 2 days. They're doing the foundations. Okay, you get back to camp, and the first tent is Purin's tent. Purin sticks her head round the door. What's all this noise? Okay. My scouts have come back far too quickly and with centaurans. Well, no, with. Hold on. How have you come back with two topless children of Motoro? Well, no, children of El Toro and Agatus. What the heck? I don't think I want to know. Well, yeah. they were, they were, they were. She starts thumping her foot because she can't stop laughing. It's like a tick. They called Debbie the Holy Mother. If only Grandma was here, she'd love it. And her right foot thuds as she stops. She's trying to stop herself, but it's just it's like a little tick. It's like it's too much. It's too much. She clearly feels better because she sort of bounces over a little bit like, oh. Okay, you cleric, what have you been doing? Huh? Oh, good to see you, Riz. Oh. Mm. She recoils from it like kryptonite at that point. Like, what? She is wearing something slightly different to what you were expecting. She's got little bracelets on, little lid bracelets, well, plum bum bracelets and anklets that are helping dispel some of the So she's mm, Motoro. Motoro. Oh. 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 I yeah, I can tell. Hag magic. Yeah. They've got something very dangerous. There's only one thing I know of that would do this. She takes a step forward towards them and looks into their eyes. It's like they've seen years but not lived them. No, 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 no. I, have you ever? Okay, you won't know this. There's a certain type of dragon. It's very rare, very dangerous, and usually it goes. They don't live because people kill them off because they're very dangerous. Cyclops dragons or hag dragons. They literally absorb the life from you. They make you older. They push your body along its timeline um, to feed. That's how they feed. Their breath weapon literally pushes you along your own timeline, makes you older. You don't just look older, you are older. But your mind hasn't lived those years. Your body has lived those years, but it's like you're just dead for those years. They're just gone. So they've been forced to this age. That would no, no, those years are gone. That's extremely dangerous because the dragon becomes more powerful every time it does that. The dragon that's doing this must be insanely powerful by now. Extremely dangerous. Which means whoever's controlling it is very powerful. Hurin looks is notably worried by this. This is it could kill pretty much anyone. Um, she she sort of stops from me and goes, Hans knew of one. A dragon like this. A hag in the village was talking about it a long time ago, like years and years ago. She was planning on capturing a dragon turtle and churning it because she thought one of Hans's associates was a man called Fernando who couldn't die. And her hopes were that she could get hold of this, get them to get. She had this idea that Fernando or someone could be tricked or bribed or something into bringing back a dragon egg. And what she was going to do was she was going to bewitch this dragon egg and create one of these hag dragons. And then she was going to have it feed secretly on Fernando because Fernando wouldn't age. So it would grow more powerful and more dangerous. And her plan, I think her plan was that she was going to use it to defend the village from the Golden Dawn. That was her intention, but something happened and Fernando was killed, and so things never went that way, and the dragon egg went to someone else, and she decided it was a bad idea as well, and so it never happened. This is there's very few dragons are extremely dangerous in every way, but these rare hybrids are the worst. Demo dragons, hag dragons, they take the worst of a dragon and then just imbue it with dark magics. It's just these are apocalyptic threats when they're allowed to run out of control. So yes, to get these young women away from those, to somewhere of peace. You've saved them from a life of terrible, terrible hardship and potential danger. You've done well. Well, you'll just have to do it. You've got to look after them now. Even if they leave here, if they're like some of the things that Agatha's told me, they'll be killed. They can't understand it, remember? Because well, yeah, they'd hear the name, but they would be like, and also they're not going to react like that in front of their husbands. They're still a bit nervous about you guys. Hmm. Well, cleric, it seems you're going to be performing a ceremony in the morning. Foreman Sharp, front and center. Yeah. Could you prepare a brazier and make 2 symbols? One, if Riz can prepare yours and Kinryu prepare yours, he'll make it up for you. Get his blacksmith on it. And yeah, tonight's your stag do. You'll be married men in the morning. Uh, yeah, that would. Yeah, that's why Sharp was there, because you need a brazier to heat the metal up hot enough. Hmm. Yeah, you could make a prop version and then they make a metal version in that same shape. Sharp goes back and starts preparing the brazier. Getting some coals and stuff. You need to get the temperature up. Felda sticks her head out of her tent. What's going on over there? And Purin goes back and lays down. You'll have to come over here and tell me. It's only been a couple of days, so she's still really rough from the radiation. Which one? Then you get a message. You get like a live feed from Frozic or something, just like showing you her reaction. Like, Frozic, record this. And she's falling on the floor laughing. That's going to be a situation eventually. Unfortunately, post takes a while at this era. So, okay. Okay, Scarred Heart, what were you going to do before everyone gets a rest? I'll tell you that by next week, so you can do that we'll do that at the start of next session, the wedding. Yeah. What, from Adam's family? I'm trying to think who would. I was trying to think who would be cooking there at this point. Golgara, that poor girl. Golgara, was she in there before you? No, yeah. Richter just opens it. That poor girl. Golgara, was she in there before you baked? Golgara looks up. That poor girl. Oh, c'est la vie. Jacques just puffing on a cigarette goes, hmm? Takes a slight draw, just, Buff. Doesn't know quite what to say, like, no, that's not a Golgara thinking. It would be Golgara realized that stripper wearing small amount of clothes need to stay warm. Warmest place, outside of being in oven with fire, inside cake. But she's still in the oven. Yeah, but she in the cake. Cake protect her from fire. Like cold center of cooking. She stay cold as long as we don't cook for too long. And then she realizes she's been like baked fully. Like oh, oh, oh. Jacques says I have to cook for longer, so he'll hot in middle. Hot. I didn't cook long enough for it to get hot in middle. Oh, this makes no sense. Jacques, you should have cooked. It's because there's got to be like a logic behind it. Like, it's like she was told she's got to cook it for too long, cook it for so long so that it stays hot in the middle. And if she doesn't cook it for that long, it won't get hot in the middle. So the stripper will get warm but not cooked. But no. Thank you. No. That as I've said on numerous occasions, that is just That is another sister who is pushing her into doing that. And it was something that was going to come up in Rumble Slam. It's another sister who's pushing her to behave like that, and they're eventually going to end up having a conflict over it, because that's not how they operate. Because I'm going faster, so therefore, if I hold my axe in front of me, due to the transference of properties, me going faster because of cannon equals axe going faster. Math. Didn't take into account injuries because of Golgara also being projectile. Because it's because Golgara didn't consider one thing. Cannonball is not capable of complaining. Turns out being fired from a cannon into something hurts. And because a cannonball can't tell her that, she doesn't understand it. Yeah, but halflings are weak. Halflings are soft and squidgy. Halflings complain. They just want to sit around eating donuts. She thought they were just complaining. But she thought it was funny when she got halflings complained. Halflings complained when there was a bet with her and Jacques that she could fit at least 2 in her mouth. The halflings complained about it when she tried. Jacques pissed himself laughing. Golgar thought it was amusing until they kept kicking her in the eye. Yes. But she thought their complaints were because of that. And because she kept covering them with oil. She thought it was that. She thought it was the smell that was ruining their clothes. And they complain a lot. No, because she was trying to eat them. She was trying to slip them in her mouth, and she thought oil would work better. And she thought that they were complaining about that. To me, Golgara always has to have a certain logic, even if that logic doesn't work. It's why Golgara doesn't like the dictionary. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't like the dictionary because she knows that there are more letters between A and Z. She doesn't like this dictionary. She doesn't like this dictionary because it goes A-Z. No, there's letters in between. Yeah, but she just doesn't. She's like, no, Golgara knows there are more letters than A-Z. Why did this book try to tell Golgara there is only A and Z? There are other letters in between. This book lied to Golgara. This book is evil. Yeah, exactly. Then they find it harder to cast their most dangerous spells because their voice is too squeaky. Sorry, we've gone completely off track. Yeah. Well, to be honest, there isn't really anyone for you to have a drink with. Yeah, but they don't have any alcohol. Okay, so what we'll do is we will. Okay, we'll do everyone's last action before the stag do, and then we'll do that at the start of the next session and the wedding and things and any assorted silliness because it means I'll have to grab some like extra tokens and things and stuff and stats and all sorts. Because you know one person is not going to allow this to happen without their consent. So yes, cameos, everyone. But as I said, everyone's last action before that. Uh, they just look at you. Okay, yes. And if they accidentally went anywhere near the Sons of Motoro's territory, they will be killed. It's a marriage of convenience on their part. Yeah, yeah. It's not ideal, but you've saved them basically from a terrorist life. As I said, it's not ideal, but it's for them. It's a happier ending because you're going to have to basically look after them. Well, no, it's not a Richter and Brunhilde situation. But we can discuss that. We can discuss that afterwards because we normally do our post show chat and stuff. So as I said, last actions before the end of game. Scarred Heart is gonna go into a tent and pray for your souls. Yep. Mm. Yep. Uh, and oh no, you don't have to go that far ahead because someone's going to interfere after your turn. Because someone's casting message. Someone can cast message now. Someone's a goddess and can cast message to other gods. as we as we end with a Q style flash of light. And that's what we ended this. I've got to get that sound. I've got to get that sound effect for next session. Good night, everyone. Yeah, I was going to say that's Goldbergs. That's tomorrow, 10 o'clock.